Now, we enter the main cocoa of the program. What we want to talk about today, na simple thing. Election don't they come. Now they search for the right leader. How we fit take get the right person? Because now searching now with the search now. If like person we enter house we don't know before, we don't know where switch day and the house is dark. How you go feel locate? How you go feel know that person? Now it's okay. I need to bring person we be say politically in the vast, in the you don't do the politics system. You don't hold different political offices for Nigeria. Before now, you go use his mouth, talk him by himself. But I did here for studio with DANJUMA MUHAMMED. Now they call him. Oga, good morning, sir. I pronounce the name well.
You pronounce it well. Thank you, Ekanem.
Good morning. But as you look at that, I look like say you be just political analyst. Which other political offices you don't hold before? Will make you do this vast?
I don't hold political offices before. I've been national chairman for political party before.
Okay.
And I've been I've been chairman for committee for one body which they call Inter-Party Advisory Council for Nigeria, IPAC. I be the chairman for the Technical and Mobilization Committee, and I be everything about politics. I be National Public Secretary for another party before. Then I be Director of Communication for another party before, and
wow, you don't go far politically. But as you go these different political parties, you see the way things they go, you see the way they choose people. You feel say we for Nigeria, the way they select, choose our leaders through the party. What do you feel say they wrong about them, and what you see say they do right?
The thing we they wrong about them is say we know they look for person who fit solve our problems. Instead, we look for a person who come from either we share something in common with us, either by birth, or by religion, or by ethnicity, or by region. So, and you know, when you begin to support somebody based on these four things,
even for political
parties, then you have problems, because these things no count at all for your life. You know, make you less a human being than person who come from UK or from US. So what makes you a human being is the fact that you are breathing and I'm breathing, and we are both humans. So our condition, if you address our condition, now the person will know the cocoa, the real problems,
and how to solve them.
And based on the fact, based on the fact that he don't solve that kind of problem before, he get the experience to solve them. Nobody just you just talk of 419.
Yeah.
Nobody just somebody will come political 419ers. Then they boku. They will just tell you, say, I can do this, I can do that. I can take honey, you know, from honey pot from on pipeline, you know, to all the rooms in Nigeria just to get your vote. No people will get sweet coated tongue. Now people will get, number one, they know the problem, they get the experience, they don't solve that problem before.
We won't know, sir.
Exactly. Person will not get the experience, make it just no near there. No vote them. If you vote them, you are putting yourself, you are putting yourself in hell.
So you see political parties, you see say that they fit, now the right candidate that they bring come for us? Because now that's the problem they start.
Yes, yes. The problem with they see, democracy no get time for who be right and who be wrong. That's the problem. Now you will be the voter. Now you go decide who be right and who be wrong.
But if one step at a time. If for instance I will get this man don't cut me, we'll take break again so that we'll play this advert. Just small minutes. When we'll come back, we'll go continue the same discussion, not go anywhere.
Thank you.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child.
Milo. The first edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards is here. For participation and sponsorship information, follow our social media handles at TNB Awards on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Powered by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria.
My country people, I tell you before, and so we're going to do them. As long as you bring your adverts, come here, I go play them so that people go hear and see the things what you do. I did here for studio still with DANJUMA MUHAMMED, in a political analyst, in a former chairman of local political party, in a secretary, put the right something for IPAC. It don't hold different political offices. That make me say no. It go fit open our eyes on issues we concern this how they define person we go occupy political office. I know why we talk like that. We figure different people now. We want contest from different areas. Some if don't hold political offices before. Some don't solve problems before. Some, their region never gets office before, never occupy. So if me now want vote, how I would take vote those kind of people?
The first person where you go look for, now the person will solve your problem. Okay. No be person will come from your region or person will come from region we never get. All that on no will solve your problem. The two will solve your problem, you say, you go look for the person will be say, you get the track record. Say this kind thing where they worry you. He worry person before for where him been work and him solve the problem. So without the track record, it will be dangerous to vote somebody who is a novice.
It's just like a native doctor.
It's just like a native, particularly in the circumstance in which we are. The country is so difficult. In fact, today is easier, far easier to preside over the American state than to preside over the Nigerian state because of the multifaceted challenges, because of the problems with Boku for Nigeria. So no be kids glove, no be small picking at all. So all the sentiment of age, remove them. Sentiment of tribe, remove them. Sentiment of religion, remove them. Sentiment of region where the person come from, remove them. The only sentiment where we must entertain as a people, as Nigerians, because of the way we create Nigeria, because of the way God they created this country. The only sentiment we will fit entertain now the sentiment of South and North. Because now these two will come together as Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate, now then come from Nigeria. So that is why the next Nigerian president, to balance it, must come from South.
No matter the part of South, Sofana from South.
Sofana from South, but he must be competent. And we believe that somebody from South, or rather South has people who are competent to handle this, at least. But after that, aside from that sentiment, it is not really a sentiment, it's an understanding. Because, like I said, that is the basis upon which Nigeria was formed.
And you talk something like about understanding now, like more talk of PDP first. PDP, they say they always get gentleman agreements. Like for Cross River State, when PDP been there, they call the three wise men. They say, okay, when the South take governor, the Central will take governor, 8 years South, 8 years, then 8 years the other one. Everybody says the agreement. It makes sense because now 3 different senatorial districts. So if the governor, Donald Duke came from the South, he finished, he gave Imoke, come from Central, Imoke finished, carry and go give Ayade, we from the North. Now the thing is supposed to go back to the South. There's somebody now from the North. Come feel say no, that agreement now 3 people do agreement. Say no, say politics no be about some people. Now who fits deliver? You understand? So now somebody from the Central now, they aspire, they pull weight, say he won't be governor. But the Southerner don't already position himself. Like more than one Southerner, don't they? Why is it difficult for people to follow agreements the way they?
Yes, and this one people really create problem for community be that. Well, yes, because what matters, number one, even if you have the most competent person in the world to rule the country, what matters is, does he attract the goodwill of the people? Yes, by the time you create a situation where can put people in doubt, say this man no trust me, certainly you cannot get his goodwill and his support. And no matter the program where the president try to implement, it no go succeed. So the first thing first we say that you make sure that the whole people, feel at home with you, because if you want people to respect you, you must respect them. Exactly. So if you have an agreement that your governorship or your presidency should rotate from one region to the other, and that agreement being create peace and harmony and tranquility, honestly speaking, you have to stand by it.
And like PDP now.
Because yes, before I come to PDP, don't forget that that was the kind of mentality that the first military coup plotters in this country, succeeded in spraying on our citizenry. Since 1960 today, it has always been where the president comes from. It's a pity, but it's unfortunate. They caused it. Exactly. Ordinarily, they ought to have allowed leaders of that dispensation finish their tenure. There may be other leaders of other places. Then, before you know it, our democracy will evolve. That is, it will grow in a better way. But since that time, the whole problem now where the president come from. So, and that one can't overshadow who will solve our problem, which is competence. So the thing there is that coming to PDP, PDP started very well. But the problem PDP had was that it was a misfortune. A president died midway. So now, unfortunately, the constitution and no democratic constitution even creates that situation of that condition of going back to primaries or going back to general election. Now, the vice president is always there to continue after the president. Fine, the vice president is Southerner. That was Goodluck Jonathan. He continued. So when he ended, he now decided to run for the presidency to complete the tenure of his boss. Now, how they supposed to see the team with that? But unfortunately, some of them in PDP saw it differently. Say, no, he's not completing anything. He's a Southerner. So that thing can create imbalance for inside PDP, such that PDP spent 16 years for power, but 12 out of 16, is it 12 or even 14 out of 16, went to the south and 2 to the north. So you see, they get imbalance for inside PDP. So that thing can make the northern members of PDP insist, say, no, we must balance them. But unfortunately, the balance where them they look for could disrupt the understanding, the oscillation of the pendulum of power between South and North, which is the most important one. And which was the reason why whoever is promoting Northern presidency in PDP ought to have considered national interest as an overriding interest. Because a situation whereby, that is the hallmark of patriotism. Patriotism is that whenever personal interest comes in conflict with national interest, national interest should take precedence. That is the hallmark. But unfortunately, they insisted. And now they threw up a northern presidential candidate. Fine, that is democracy, because he had more voters in the primaries than the others. But for us, as Nigerians, we are looking for what will bring the understanding. And this way, this suspicion, mutual suspicion between us. Nigeria belongs to Northerners as well as Southerners. No one is superior.
My country people, I don't come back again, and so it be. No, we make concern how the country be that. Na power, na light, then go off. You understand? One of my friends carry his neighbor that carry children come from America for the first time. As they just land for airport, I just take like the children one run, you hold them. He said, not go anywhere, not go anywhere. And so it be. Nigeria, we know that let me take light to, we don't come back again. We'll continue. Stay there for studio with DANJUMA MUHAMMED. With the put eye for things we concern our country, Nigeria. We'll be talking about PDP before the lights go off. I will continue from where we've been stopped. I will talk about that PDP because for life, they say person we don't work supposed chop. If you stay for one place, benefits supposed to.
Yes.
People they jump from one political party to another political party. People they say wiki, and some sort of former governors and some governors So they won't pull out of Atiku campaign, presidential campaign committee. Some people say what Wiki they do, they make sense because the national chairman of it come from the same zone with the presidential candidate, with one of the BOT chairman or member who just resigned of recent. Come like say when they won't come campaign for the South, what in them will talk. And we came with that one the presidential aspirants will follow contest, but Tambuwa come step down, come make they say that make the man vote, that make Atiku win. But we can invest, we can invest. We can get the rights to invest the kind of verse when the verse. So you now as a senior politician you be.
Well, number one, you get the right to vex, but no be the way in the vex so.
But you know if you beat Peking, tell all the Peking.
I know because the problem is the thing we in the ask for, the thing we they ask for, it very difficult to even achieve. That is if it is achieved.
For the national chairman to from.
Exactly, because PDP's hands are tied by their own constitution.
Okay.
Yes. The constitution of PDP is very clear on the resignation of party national chairman before any convention. When the party national chairman resigns, the next national chairman, whoever will succeed him, must come from the same region with him.
With the president.
Exactly. So, so this is it. So the thing is that PDP will have to go back to hold a convention to amend their constitution before they put that into practice. And they will know how to manage that between them and INEC, and the election is just around the corners. So it's a very tough, demand. It's not just something which your child will wake up, and if your child lives there and you bring in a southerner, no problem. Before the election, you discover that PDP no get national chairman. So all the forms were signed for in contestants, all becomes invalid. So everybody from president to House of Assembly to councillor loses the election automatically. Exactly. Because you don't have a valid national chairman that ought to append signature on INEC form. So your form is null and void.
Politics. Now we been there before that.
So the thing be say it's quite tough. So but that said, what created the problem was not Wiki. What created the problem was that a northerner emerged as a candidate, because they ought to have thought of this when they were contesting for elections. Exactly. They ought to have thought of this when they were contesting for primaries. Because ideally, it's supposed to be like that from south and north. That's why I told you that one thing we must always respect in this country is that arrangement of these two regions. But anything outside it, forget them. That one sentiment we no fit stand, because we plenty. When somebody go say, my tribe never do, we are talking about almost 300 tribes. Are you with me?
Yes.
You cannot rotate Nigeria's presidency on the upper tribe. You can't rotate it even per zones, because you have 6 zones and you have 1 office.
I'm going to leave PDP. PDP don't do there everywhere.
Yeah.
You get another party we was talking about. I'm going to talk about Labour. Peter Obi and Labour.
Yes.
With the way they go now, how you see the followership of Peter Obi? So there's no be threat to other political parties.
Of course. His followership is a threat to other political parties, but only parties that have, because his followership is still tilted on one side. It be waiting carry weight seriously for one side. The place where he carry weight, and the place where affect parties will get ground for there, like PDP and ABGA. So PDP and ABGA are under serious threat electorally, from this thing.
From the southeast.
From the southeast, because that is their mainstay. So and Peter Obi's campaign up till now has not risen beyond that zone, because a situation whereby you have it's a movement, but I think it's still a movement that is coming up. So September is here, so by the time we go into full-fledged campaigns, so we go sabi where people strong reach. But the thing, having said that, the truth of the matter is that Peter Obi's threat for now, politically, affects only 2 political parties, because there is ABUJA and PDP.
ABUJA and PDP. You know, you talk of APC, you don't be threat to APC?
I know, you not be threat to APC as of now, as of this moment, because APC no get much representation for Southeast. APC no get votes for Southeast.
No, APC get governors for Southeast.
The governors no be APC votes will determine the emergence of the governor. No, you know, even the camp self. The thing will happen be say the governor been go court. Court too na part of the electoral process anyway. But the governor been go court, and the court in its own wisdom technically gave it to him. But the vote where the governor take win, no be the vote will determine the victory of APC president. What matters is which vote determines the victory of APC president. So that is when you say, oh, APC is under threat. So APC did not really gain much, inroad into the Southeast during the elections on both grounds since the coming of the party, both 2015 and 2019. So now 2023, if APC can form government in 2015 and 2019, with the votes they got in South-South and Southwest and the entire North, then until you have a party that is pulling, the string in their strongholds like the North, the Southwest, then you begin to see threat on APC, just like it is happening to PDP and ABUJA in the Southeast.
APC candidates, they show video here some days ago when he sit down for Anna Gombe go. You see, he just close eyes, Mohana sleep. Nechuka come here this morning, they tell us, say, with the kind of meetings where political parties they do in the night, and in the morning before you wake up, some boys don't they down, some girls don't they down, see they be support group. You finish down, another group come out, another group come out. Even young man self they break down anywhere. So how you see the person of the APC presidential candidate for this?
Number one, I want to say that.
To age. How you age? No one. You don't want to check age. You don't want to check.
Yes, age. Yes, like I told you. Number one. Let me start. Number one. I happen to know Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one-on-one and physically. Physically, he is very agile and very physically strong. Physically, if you see him walking, you need to even as a younger person than he is, you need to put more pressure to your own movement to catch up with him. So, and that video where you talk, that na picture, no be video. So that picture, no be confirmation say he sleep. Until you get video where show say he sleep. Somebody can meditate. Picture is taken, it's a very fast snap. So just a blink, exactly. So, and I saw a video. I wasn't in Gombe there with him, but the video was very clear. There was no any aspect of that video that I saw him slumbered for even a minute. So that is political propaganda as far as I'm concerned. But when it comes to the issue of age does not matter. What matters is the mindset of the president. I will give you an example. You see, Jonathan was above 50 when he presided over Nigeria as president. But even as a young man, Jonathan could not continue the railway project his own boss left behind. For a period of 6 years he was in government. Buhari was older, over 70.
No, Jonathan not complete rail this thing.
He not complete them now.
This Kaduna rail, complete them.
No be him. Na Buhari complete them. Na Buhari.
It's not only commission be remain.
No be only commission. We tell you that one. We did there now. We see what they happen. Okay. Let me give you some brief history of the rail project. No be Yaradua's project safe. He don't do for rolling plan since. Now Abacha will start them. But the thing Abacha start be say he no start from Kaduna. He be start from Itakwe for Kogi State to Warri. Are you with me? But himself no carry reach Warri before he stop. But the design has been there all along. So waiting Yaradua do be say in carry from Kaduna, carry and they come Abuja. So midway, in die. But the age thing, if age were to be any issue here, naturally, Jonathan was supposed to have completed it. But his own mindset wasn't there. His mindset was in a different thing. But an older man, who we now call, that is President Buhari to be specific, over 70, completed, and did not stop there. Started Lagos, completed that one. Abacha died and left from Itakpe to is in Bayelsa already, and that one is going to stop at Jonathan's town. What's the name? No, that's local government. That is the top point of the standard gauge rail. Jonathan's hometown, his hometown. I forgot it. Yes, exactly. Otueke is going to Otueke. Are you with me? So, and the same Buhari as an old man carried this, established another one from Lagos to Abeokuta, is in Ibadan. So, waiting Nigerians go, they look for, be say, which person where we go elect, where we go continue like that. Now, so then they build country. Exactly. There is one democratic tenure can never guarantee you the time to complete these projects. And these are the things we missed for 45 years ago that is putting us in the poverty we are in today. Without it, there is no nation. If Atiku tells you he is not going to do continuity of some key Buhari's project, don't vote for him. If you vote for him, you are voting for backwardness. If Obi tells you he is not going to do continuity of key Buhari projects and policies, don't vote for him. If you vote for him, you are voting for backwardness. We must take our railways across the breadth, the nook and crannies of this country. If it will take us the next 1 century, let us have continuity. We must make sure that the rice mills, Buhari met less than 10 rice mills that are not performing. He has encouraged the creation of 68 private rice mills so far, which is kudos. If Atiku tells you he's not going to increase it to 100, so that our production will increase from 3 million metric tons per day of right now, as I sit here, to about 100 million metric tons in the next 8 years, don't vote for him. If Obi tells you he will not continue to, don't vote for him, because whoever does not continue with it will make do with importing rice from China and Thailand. Which is the problem which we are facing today.
They reach, because your matter, I don't know how they do. Like be encyclopedia. What is going to be your last word to Nigerians? Because sometimes, you do television like this, put the specs.
Yes, my last word to Nigerians, we say, the truth of the matter is that, one, let's make sure we vote for a southern president. And let's make sure that of all of them, the truly speaking,
with southern president,
a southern president.
You as a northern support southern president?
Exactly, because I don't want misgivings. I don't want unnecessary bickerings. It's unnecessary. What is 8 years in the life of a nation? It will still come back to the north. If we have this understanding, honestly speaking, we're not going to fight. We're not going to quarrel. We're not going to wish each other bad luck. But a situation whereby if you return them here, you'll be having another maybe 16 years. You go to get bad wishes from different places. But of all, let's vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he has the best of the program for one reason. One, because of security. The man has said that he is going to take 30 to 50 million youths. The only thing, the challenge before us is ask him, how do you intend to do it? He's the most attractive program.
We'll go get adverts to play. Yes. We'll take this break so that make I let DANJUMA MUHAMMED go chill because the rain. Weather now, me go as go meet your wife.